Shalom, shalom. This is Authority. I have this awesome new translation notebook. It's basically Sapad Marsha BaRaASheyTh, the book of Genesis on one side, and the other side is a notebook. There's no English words in this book, and it's meant for you to write in it. There's no English words, so you can be able to look at the word and translate. And so if you've been following me and you've been studying your vocabulary, this should be very easy. Now, this video, I'm going to help you to translate one verse, and then there'll be another video to help you translate the next verse. Each verse, I will be introducing only new vocabulary that appears. So you are accountable with this lesson plan to learn the previous vocabulary in the previous verse. And as new words appear, you are accountable to learn it. And this is how I'm going to proceed. And so look inside of this book. It's about 300 pages, and you're not going to find a lick of English in there. And if you speak another language, this is your opportunity to help bridge the gap, to help others who only speak that one language to learn the actual, what the scriptures are actually saying in the literal translation. So I want you, if you speak another language, to help me to translate into multiple languages. And then maybe you could make a video, basically copy this video and insert, translate it in your language with, of course, the English words right there. And we could make it a multilingual video. I think that would be fun, and I think that would be interesting. You can get sample pages of this book by visiting patreon.com/Bhatia, or you can actually get the book if you're ready right now. You can go to primitivesignlanguage.com/shop and follow along in these videos. I actually have 98 words in the whole chapter 1 of the book of Genesis. Only 98 words, because many words repeat themselves. Let's look into the contents of this video. Number 1, I'm going to read the verse in the original language. The second thing I'm going to do is introduce only new vocabulary. The first verse, all of it's new, so I'm going to introduce all of them. The third thing I'm going to do is to talk about the words, especially the ones who have a root meaning, and basically get their meaning from another word. And we're gonna talk about any word connections, because we want you to have a relationship with the words. We want you to truly know why words mean what they mean, not just memorizing random words. I don't want you to do that. The next thing we're going to do is talk about the grammar rules within the verse. The cool thing about this is grammar rules and vocabulary. Each verse we do are going to repeat. You don't need to study anything. You don't need to study. You just need to be actively translating along with me. Then we're going to write down the translation according to what we learned, and we're going to dissect the words, and we should be very sharp by now because it's not going to be overwhelming. BaRaASheyTh bara Elohim at ha shamayim u'at ha arat. Now let's talk about the vocabulary. The first word is a symbol, yes, but it's also a word used as a prefix, and often it means in. Sometimes it means on or with. It does have other usages as far as translations. We'll talk about it when it comes up. The next word is BaRaASheyTh. BaRaASheyTh's been translated as beginning or first. The next word is bara, translated as Yahweh created. The next word is Elohim, translated as the title of Yahweh, but I would translate it as Almighty. We'll talk more about this other word as much as we can, and other meanings. The next word is a symbol, and it's translated as the. It's ha, and it is a prefix to other words. It's very common in the scriptures. Shamayim, heaven or heavens. At is a placeholder, usually for pronouns and other words, symbols that act as words, but it can be used as a direct object indicator, indicating that the next word following is a direct object. This word is the most common word in the scriptures. The next symbol is a prefix that often stands for and. It's a connecting symbol, so it could also mean but or. Arats, earth, land. it's probably a good idea to write down these vocabulary words and their meaning in a notebook. Now let's see how these words are used in BaRaASheyTh 1 verse 1. The first symbol is ba, meaning in, and I'm going to underline it. And the first word is BaRaASheyTh, which means in beginning. And as you see, or maybe I'll point it out for you. It's two words in one. That's why I put number 2 over there. Ra'ash is in the word BaRaASheyTh because the word gets its meaning from the word head. So essentially, it's head of days. So this is in the head. Bara, meaning Yahweh created. The word bara actually means choose when you see it translated throughout the scriptures. However, in Genesis, it means create because it's essentially a hand sign. Bara create and bara choose is a hand sign, and nobody knows this until I revealed it when I revealed it in this video and when I previously revealed it. Okay, so I'm not going to show you the hand sign, but it's the gesture of choosing something. When Yahweh does that gesture, he creates. That's how simple he creates. He creates with a simple gesture that looks like somebody. Keep this in mind when you see bara translated and or used in the scriptures when referring to a human. You're not going to get this insight anywhere else because I am the only one who teaches that the biblical language came and comes from hand signs. Elohim has the word Allah in it. Allah simply means mighty one. The aim, which I will review in a grammar rule, is a plural form, which can communicate that it is multiple mighty ones or gods. But when applied to Yahweh, Elohim doesn't mean gods. It means he has all the power. That's why I translate that word as almighty. I underline the at word because it is a direct object to the heavens, which is ha-shamayim. Ha-shamayim is 2 words. It is a prefix the, which is the habal symbol, and then the shamayim. Shamayim has a word in it that is water, and I underlined it in blue. Actually, I underlined it in red. Mayim stands for water, and even Mayim has a word in it. Im or yim meaning sea. So it's words are built from the backs of other words in this language, which can make it easy to understand. And that's why I'm doing these word connections so you could see it. But Shamayim is heaven. Mayim is water, which Shamayim has the word water in it because Yahweh separated the water above from the water below. That's why the word water is in Shamayim. I'm not sure if other people know this, but now you know. And then I underline the u'u symbol, which means and it's a prefix to ath, and then I also underline the habal symbol, meaning the earth. So Yahweh created at, the heavens, and at, the earth. The at is pointing to what was created, the direct object of the heaven and the earth. So BaRaASheyTh, bara Elohim at ha shamayim u'at ha aratz. Hope it makes sense. I'd love to hear in the comments any questions you might have. I'm going to be directing you to my app, iThari, and you just click on that grammar icon, and I would like you to read or watch the video introduction to the word morpheme so you can understand how the language builds words using prefixes and suffixes and root words. I want you to understand that. So watch the video and also read the article of it. And then read about rule number 9, rule number 14, rule number 8. Okay, it's all within the app and it's organized. Eventually, there will be videos, but you can most certainly read it for yourself. It's there. And then come back to this video, and I want to tie it all in You can download the iThoughty app by visiting Galaxy Play Store or the Apple Store. Pause right here if you haven't yet studied the grammar rules that I mentioned. Now let's write down the translation. Now that we're up on the grammar rules and the vocabulary, let's translate it and bring in this whole lesson. So, in beginning, created Elohim the heaven and the earth. That's how I would translate it. So, in beginning is the first word, and I'm going to be highlighting words so you can stay with me here. Beginning is BaRaASheyTh, and I highlighted it in red. And the in is the beat symbol. And created is bara. Elohim is simply Elohim right there. And then we have the, which is a prefix to the word shamayim, which I will highlight next as heavens. And then the and symbol is the symbol, which is a prefix to the at symbol. I remember I said it was a placeholder. So the at symbol is acting as a placeholder and also a direct object indicator, okay, for the heavens and the earth. I'm going to highlight the symbol that communicates the in red. And then lastly, the word that says earth. I will highlight that. And there it is. Put it all neatly in your notebook. And you should be proud of yourself now that you have been able to identify prefixes and suffixes and how they're used and how the scripture organizes words. Many of these words will repeat themselves. So this is a sneak peek into BaRaASheyTh 1 verse 2, so you could see how the words in the previous verse has repeated themselves. The first word is actually 3 words, 2 prefixes, and then the word aratz, which is earth. So it says, and the earth. Okay? And I'm basically highlighting prefixes throughout this verse that has repeated themselves, such as and the. Elohim has repeated themselves and earth has repeated themselves. And so the more verses we do together, the more words will repeat themselves, and it will be easy for you to remember the words because it just repeats.